Greetings, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Mondo Horror Blu-ray updates. Yeah, got another stack of Blu-rays to show you today. Primarily stuff from Scream Factory. I actually went kind of nuts with some additions to the Scream Factory collection. There was a few that were on sale. 2 for 20, 2 for 30, that sort of thing. They normally go for about 25 bucks a piece. So to get 2 for 20 or 2 for 30, that's actually a pretty good deal on those. So I wasn't about to pass those up. So, yeah, we got quite a few to go through. There's a couple of other sort of classic horror movies thrown into the mix as well, just because I didn't get enough sort of classic ones to do a video just about those. So I thought, well, let's put them in with the cult movies from Scream Factory, because, they're classics in their own special way, right? Alrighty, so Screaming for More Horror, or whatever I decide to call it, something with Scream in the title, today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's get right down to it here. So I guess we'll start off with the two non-Scream Factory ones first. We'll start with the oldest of the two. I actually got this quite a while ago. This is how long it's been since I've done updates. But I actually picked up House of Wax, the 3D Blu-ray. Yeah, now this is notable to me personally because not only is this a really early 3D movie, but it's also the first movie I ever saw in 3D, so this has always held a very special place in my heart. Plus, it's just a really frickin' good 50s horror movie, I gotta say. Really, really good stuff. Gotta love, where is he? Vincent Price, yes. The Prince of, I was about to say the Clown Prince of Horror, but that would be the Joker, the Clown Prince of Crime. The Prince of Horror himself, yes. I'm just doing that so you can kind of see the lenticularness a little bit. But very, very nice. As soon as I had seen sort of Blu-ray 3D in action, I was really hoping that we'd start to see stuff like this, the old 50s ones. Now, when I saw it in the theater when I was a kid, it was actually in proper, what the hell is the term? The not the anaglyph, the oh my God, where is my brain today? The real D style, not peripheral, not Paracelsus, the side. Wow, my brain has just gone to mush. It will come to me at some point during this update. In the meantime, those of you who know what I'm trying to say can just keep screaming at the screen. Polarized, that's what it is, polarized. It was proper polarized 3D. It wasn't the red and blue style. So when I saw this in theaters when I was a kid, probably about Rosie's age actually, it was proper 3D. And then 3D had a brief revival in the 80s. Well, I guess this is what I saw. It was in the early 80s, and it was all polarized 3D like we have nowadays with Real D and Blu-ray 3D and everything. That's what it was in the 80s. Back in the 50s, it was the old red and blue anaglyph style, or red and green, or magenta, or what have you, just different combinations of similar colors. But so this may very well have been in that style originally. When I saw it, it was in the polarized 3D, so it made a big, big difference. And then 3D just kind of disappeared again for a while. There was sort of a brief wave of 3D movies in the 80s, and then it disappeared for a long, long time. Came back briefly in the early 2000s. We had a few 3D movies, but we'd gone back to the anaglyph style. I don't know why. To me, that seemed like a huge step back. I was like, why are we going back to this vastly inferior form of 3D when polarized is so much better? I mean, you don't even have to focus your eyes for polarized half the time. You just put the glasses on and boom, you are in the movie. It's an amazing difference how effective it is. Well, unless you're one of the few people out there that can't see 3D, of course. But you know what I mean. Like it's just way more more betterer. So then when Real D came out, I was like, ah, good, finally, they're back to proper 3D again. But this time they actually marketed it differently. But it's actually very old technology that they're using. They've just applied it in you know, on a greater scale. Anyway, I didn't mean this to be a big ramble about 3D. House of Wax 3D, and this is proper Blu-ray 3D. So if you got a 3D TV, you can check it out. I, of course, still do not have a 3D TV. I did purchase count them, two high-def TVs a little while ago. You may have seen them sneakily appearing in some of the other videos. I didn't really do a video about them. I just kind of I showed them on my Facebook. But basically, I bought two 40-inch Toshiba high-def televisions. So I'm using one as a computer monitor and the other as my TV right now. The ultimate plan is to use both of them as like a dual monitor setup, just stupidly massive dual monitor setup, and then get like a bigger TV for the living room with 3D capability. But at the very least, I wanted to have like some proper decent sized HD screens, and definitely makes a big difference. So anyway, next up, I kind of accidentally mentioned this one in the previous update video. Picked up the 40th anniversary edition of Young Frankenstein. Now, you may recall I used to have the previous edition of Young Frankenstein, and I've been wanting to get it back in the collection for quite a while. Just didn't get around to it. Saw this in the bargain bins at Walmart while I was looking for those art card editions that they didn't have. But this was a nice little find for about, I don't know, $6 or $7 with the slipcover, no less. And it's a very nice slipcover too, actually. It has a gatefold. Opens up, you get some pictures from the movie there. Very nice indeed. And then if we open this up here, we actually have some disc art. Oh my god, you got the brain in the jar in an eco pack. So there you go, very nice. Yeah, Rosie and I are going to watch this at some point this year. I'm sort of dragging her kicking and screaming through the original Frankenstein movies first. Which, funny enough, she moans and groans when I suggest we watch one of them, but then as soon as I put it on, she's completely enthralled. She just loves them. And then she's telling me afterwards, like, wow, that was a really good movie. I'm like, yeah, I know, that's why I wanted to show it to you. So let's see, last year I picked up the first one of this. Well, I guess it wasn't last year, I guess it was kind of in the middle of this year. I still need to pick up the third one, but I actually really enjoyed the first one. I'd like to pick up the third one and do kind of a trilogy review video where I talk about all three of them. So I picked up Sleepaway Camp 2. Yeah, there you go. So with the being a Scream Factory Collector's Edition, has the original poster art on a reversible cover, and then new artwork on the slipcover. Very nice. I always try to make a point of getting the slipcovers with these collector's editions because I like having the, you know, I really come to love having the new artwork on the slipcover and then flipping it around to the original art on the actual Blu-ray case. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, very nice edition here, loaded with extras as per usual. Scream Factory does a very nice job indeed. They released the third one at the same time as the second one, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I kept seeing the third one around, but I kept passing on it because they didn't have the second one. So they finally got the second one back in stock with the slipcover, no less, and now I can't find the third one anywhere. I should be putting them up here, shouldn't I? Yes, let's do that. So, House of Wax. I should mention, actually, you may recall I did a review of the old Snapper Case House of Wax edition. This one includes all of the same content as that, including the early 30s, early Technicolor movie Mystery of the Wax Museum. That one's only in standard def on the Blu-ray, sadly, but it does, you know, it has all the same content on there. So that's pretty cool. So that's Sleepaway Camp 2. Next up, we have... Oh, this is another one, actually. I used to have the previous DVD or Blu-ray release of this, and always really liked this movie. I think it's just a great, you know, sort of cult film. And I mean, it's got Roddy McDowall in it, so how can you go wrong? So Scream Factory's deluxe edition of Class of 1984. Not strictly horror, really, more of sort of cult film, social commentary type of thing, but it does have some horrific elements to it, for sure. And there's the original artwork there. Back of the slipcover, back of the case. They always have slightly different pictures Yeah, they got slightly different pictures for the screenshots when they do that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I really like this movie a lot, and I'm glad to see it finally get the deluxe treatment that I've always felt it deserved. So there you go. Little slightly different configuration for the chair and stuff. I wanted to make sure you could see more of the shelves here. So yeah, I'm like a mile away, even though you can't really tell in the force perspective. Next up, picked up Pumpkinhead. Yeah, the last time I saw this was actually on VHS when it was fairly new. I've never seen the sequel. So this has Lance Henriksen versus an unholy creature of some kind. And here's the original poster art, which I think is terrible, actually, because it's just a frickin' screenshot from the movie with the logo underneath it. Like, gee, don't put any effort in, guys. What is this, the 2000s? Yeah, so definitely like the new artwork a lot better on this one. And I love that it's all, the new artwork is all painted as well. Yeah, here we go. Some very nice disc art there. Got the pumpkin and the claws and stuff like that. So yeah, so very cool. Pumpkinhead, gotta love that. Good for Halloween, I think. What with pumpkins being involved. We're just gonna put this over here for no reason whatsoever. Okay, there is a reason. I also picked up Pumpkinhead 2, also from Scream Factory. This one they did not do as a collector's edition, even though it does have, a nice selection of extras on there. The main difference of the collector's editions versus the regular editions is the packaging. So the collector's editions, you get the slipcovers, obviously, if you get them when they're first run. And then, you might get a few more extras. But honestly, the extras between the regular editions and the slipcover editions, like collector's editions, are pretty comparable most of the time. It's very rare that they'll do a collector's edition that's vastly superior to the regular edition. One that springs to mind would be Nightbreed, actually, because they did a big deluxe edition of Nightbreed, limited edition, that had the theatrical and director's cut and some additional pack-in materials and different cover art. And then they had the regular edition, which is just the director's cut. I have neither at this point. I would like to get that. So anyway, we got Pumpkinhead 2 there. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings, yes. So in the case of the regular editions, they just use the original poster art for the cover, which I think is perfectly acceptable. So I have no problem with that, especially since a lot of the posters back then were pretty frickin' awesome. Now this one, this was the other one that I accidentally mailed to. I didn't tell. I told that story on Saturday Night Insanity, didn't I? Sorry, I'm getting my story recountances mixed up. I ordered this on Amazon. And a while back, Stoudman gave me his mailing address for Amazon.com in case I encountered anything that was only available in the U.S. but that I wanted to get. He said, yeah, you just buy it, ship it to me, and then I'll ship it to you. It's like, okay, cool. But here's the problem now with my Amazon.com account, because Stoudman's address is the only U.S. address in there. It keeps trying to default to that address, even though my address is on there like twice. So I keep having to manually change it to the address. So anyway, I was hastily putting together an order, getting some Halloween stuff, wanted to push it through quick so it would get here in time. And I forgot to change the address. So it was actually ended up being two orders, because one was from Amazon, one was from a third-party seller, and both of them ended up going to Stoudman. Which he, upon receiving them, immediately packaged up and sent my way, and then I PayPal'd him the money for the postage, obviously. So anyway, this is the first of the two items that I ordered and accidentally mailed to him. I'm really excited about this one. We have a double feature of Tales from the Crypt and the Vault of Horror. Now, you may recall, again, a few years ago, I did a review of the, I talked about the movies, and I did a brief review of the DVD edition, the double feature DVD that came out as part of, I think it was MGM's Midnight Movies collection. I've still got it, actually, here somewhere. Yeah, I have no idea. It's around somewhere. Actually, I see it right over here. Hold on a second. Yeah, so you see... There, so that's the one I reviewed a few years ago, And then this is the Scream Factory edition. Very similar, as you can see. But what's the difference? Well, obviously one is high def. That's obvious. But the big difference is this release here is the first time we've ever had Vault of Horror uncut. Yeah, it's always been the censored version available here until now. So Scream Factory went all out, man. Not only do they include the original... for completion's sake, the censored version that's been available here for years. But they also include the widescreen uncut version and the full frame uncut version as well. The reason that's significant is because very often with movies shot for 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio, they're actually filmed full frame and then matted after the fact. So in this case, I guess it was filmed 4:3 safe and then matted. So it could be shown either in widescreen or full screen, and there wouldn't be anything in the image that wasn't supposed to be there, like boom mics or what have you. So very, very cool that we actually get both versions. So and in high definition, so you can actually watch whichever version you like. And there you go. If you really want to watch the censored version, you can. It's on here as well. Tales from the Crypt has only ever had one cut as far as I'm aware, and that is the cut that you will find here. So anyway, so I will be watching these again this year, in particular Vault of Horror. I'm really looking forward to that, and just to see absolutely everything. I'll probably watch the full frame version, even though it has, the black bars down the side. That's fine. I'm cool with that because, that's how the film frame looks. But yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that out and seeing what I've been missing all these years. So that's going to be pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Nope, and there it goes. Why are you not staying up? There. Yeah, just move you over a little bit. There. I don't think it had quite enough in the background there. There's still some space on that shelf because that's where the Scream Factory titles are actually going. Next up, this isn't really a horror one, but it is a Scream Factory one, and I'm pretty sure I used to own this on VHS. In fact, I might still have that VHS kicking around here somewhere. I'm not going to go looking for it. We have Exterminators of the Year 3000. Yes. Yeah, basically sort of a Mad Max wannabe. Post-apocalyptic future, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I remember enjoying this one a lot, so I wanted to check it out on high def Blu-ray. So, yeah, pretty cool. Oh, and I'll show you, I guess, the innards here. So we got that. There we go. So I'll probably do more in-depth looks at a good chunk of these at some point. I don't know when exactly. Next up, yes, one of the few titles that Scream Factory has managed to secure from Hammer Films. Hammer Films, it seems like the rights to their movies are just all over the map. I see releases coming from umpteen different companies. Some of them are in the public domain, just all over the place. So it seems unlikely that we'll ever see like a proper be-all, end-all, definitive Hammer Films collection here. But anyway, of the many that are out there, Scream Factory got their hands on one, which I've never seen. But hey, it's got vampires. Lesbian vampires, no less. So how can you go wrong with the Vampire Lovers? There you go. Skinslip and I were talking about this a little bit on Saturday Night Insanity this week, and he was saying how he didn't care for the film in particular, but he's keeping it just because he loves the cover art so much. And just the art design there, and the fact that they carried over the pink motif for the text and the borders and stuff, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, anyway, I mean, I've seen my fair share of cheesy vampire movies, and I'm sure I've seen plenty worse than this. So, Hammer Films at least will have a modicum of class about it. And you may notice that it actually does have Peter Cushing in it as well. Yeah, good old Peter Cushing. Because you can't have a Hammer vampire film without Peter Cushing involved in some way, right? So there you go. The Vampire Lovers. Gotta love it. Next up we have... well, if lesbian vampires isn't your thing, how about giant bugs humping scantily clad women with The Nest? yeah, this is not actually in the movie. It's just a bit of exploitation for the poster. A very common practice in the 70s and 80s. Let's have the most exploitative posters possible to lure people in to watch our shitty movie. And it worked every freaking time. Anybody who ever scanned over the VHS racks at 7-Eleven will know what I'm talking about. You know, you have that awesome cover and you just can't resist. You know the movie's going to be garbage, but you don't care because that cover has got you. Heart, body, and soul. So The Nest, basically, insect-based horror. So if you're disturbed by insects, you probably want to avoid this one. Or if you like being disturbed by insects, you probably want to check it out. I don't know. I have not watched it yet, so most of these I have not watched yet because I just got them. I plan to watch most, if not all of them, over the course of the Halloween season. Next up, a double feature from Scream Factory. Picked up Ghost House and Witchery, because as you know, I am a sucker for a good haunted house story, or a bad haunted house story, as I understand at least one of these is. So, yeah, but this one has Linda Blair and David Hasselhoff in it. Yes, David Hasselhoff in a horror movie. Bet you didn't know that existed. Well, I think he did do the musical version of Jekyll and Hyde, didn't he? A while back. Yes, David Hasselhoff can sing, man. All right. So this one it's basically just a double feature on a single disc. Fairly straightforward. Just some screenshots from the movie in there. I'm not going to bother taking the discs out and giving you in-depth looks because that's not what this is about. This is just a simple, basic update video. Next up, not the final selection, but, the final note of finality, of finalitude with The Final Terror. All right, that played out a lot better in my head. Anyway, so got The Final Terror, taking word art to a whole new level here. The title pretty much is the poster. This I've seen this around, never seen the movie, but the poster art always caught my eye. It is very eye-catching, almost like the monolithic title. It's almost like the people are running away from the title because it's just so imposing, Anyway, so I gather this is something about campers running into stuff. Oh, a group of young campers out for what they hope will be a fun-filled weekend find their plans spoiled by a disguised, merciless killer who stalks the forest in search of new victims. Well, there you go. So, a good old camping trip gone wrong story. So, there you go. I actually, for some reason, The Final Terror, just looking at the poster, I always thought that this was some kind of, nuclear nightmare thing for some reason. I'm thinking like The Final Solution, that sort of thing. But, no, apparently it's being stalked by a killer while trying to go camping. Next up, I actually just finished watching this about 20 minutes ago and really enjoyed it, and we'll do a video about it in a little while. Picked up Evil Speak, which stars Ron Howard's brother, Clint Howard. Yes, Clint Howard in a cheesy B-movie horror flick. Who knew? But, this is it right here. And actually, Richard Mole is in this as well. Richard Mole, who most of you will probably know as Bull from Night Court, but what many of you may not know is he's also done a lot of B movies over the years. A lot of you may recognize him as the voice of Two-Face and Harvey Dent in the Batman animated series. He was great as that character. But prior to that, he did a lot of B movies, primarily as bad guys, evil sorcerers and devil worshippers and things like that. And this is another one of his. He doesn't have a huge role in this, but his character is quite important to the story. One I always remembered him from was The Dungeon Master, which I think I talked about briefly before I picked it up on one of those Scream Factory 4-packs recently. Dungeon Master's getting a Blu-ray release. Cannot wait for that. I will absolutely double dip on that to get it in high def at long last. So anyway, Evil Speak. Did I already show you? I didn't show you the inside, did I? There we go. So, there you go. Very cool. Yeah, some guy was giving me shit about orienting the discs correctly. Saying that you're scratching it. Really? Yeah, actually. Hang on a second. Let's give it a good. Oh yeah, scratching it so much. Look at all of those scratches. Completely scratched all to shit. You fucking moron. Yeah, I would not spin a disc on the hub if there was any danger at all of scratching it, because I'm not an idiot. But this guy just would not listen to reason, so he just basically kept taking me on until he got blocked. So, all right. Anyway, last but most certainly not least, another final note of finality, but this is the final selection. We have Final Exam. Good old, killer prowling the school grounds story. College. Yeah, it's always college. It's never high school, because that would be just wrong. But college kids, yeah, you can butcher college kids as much as you want. That's perfectly acceptable. They've had their fun in high school. Now it's time for the blood to be spilled. Yeah, so anyway, basically just, another one that was on sale. And I don't remember specifically which ones were on sale. It was most of the regular editions like this. It's rare for the collector's editions to go on sale. But all of these regular editions I got, with the exception of the Tales from the Crypt Vault of Horror 2-pack, these are all on either 2 for $20 or 2 for $30. So, yeah, pretty good deal for these Scream Factory titles, I gotta say. Even just the non-collector's editions. Wow, they didn't do much for the interior art there, did they? It's like, yeah, whatever. We got this one. We might as well just put it out and get on with our lives. Yeah, look at that. It's just completely black inside. There's nothing. Wow. That's the least amount of effort I've seen in packaging on a Scream Factory title ever. But anyway, what do we got for extras? We've got a ton of extras on there. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so there you go. So how many did I get here? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 new Scream Factory titles, and a couple of other notable classics as well. Young Frankenstein and House of Wax. So it'll be lots of good cult film viewing this year. I've still got a bunch of Scream Factory titles that I picked up or were sent to me that I still haven't watched. Really like to get around to those this year. I got to say, it's really becoming quite the fantastic library of, the diamonds in the rough from that sort of low-budget horror era of the 70s and 80s. And some great stuff coming out from Scream Factory, and I just continue to enjoy them. The problem is, of course, they're releasing so many now that it's borderline impossible to keep up with the releases. There's no way I'm ever going to have a complete set of them. There's just way too many. But, I at least hope to have a good chunk of them. Wow, this has been going on a long time. I think it's time to wrap this update up. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to my Patreon sponsors. Thank you, Patreon sponsors. You guys and gals are awesome. Extra super duper big special thanks to Kyle Pellegrini and Get Your Gorgeous On, the e-mag run by Michelle O'Toole and Simon Hedger, because they are, of course, both they are my highest level sponsors, so thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. So yeah, please do consider becoming a sponsor, because it just allows me to pick up more stuff like this and do more videos like this, and then, as you will see in the weeks ahead, more reviews of all of this cool stuff as well. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara. Greetings, everyone, and I didn't take it off pause. Alright, there we go. Oh, yeah. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Mondo Blu-ray horror update. Horror Blue. Yeah, I just stop. Punctuated with a burp.